Hey viewers, Ale7 here, and I'm really excited to make this video. As you can see, I have a new Airsoft gas blowback pistol. I sent back the KWA MKV. That was a severe disappointment. I wasn't expecting such a terrible product from KWA of all manufacturers out there. So, some people were saying look into the WE Makarov, and I don't know, I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling the Makarov. I really did want one since I own a real steel Makarov, but WE is sort of known for having leaky magazines, and I wasn't in the mood to possibly pick up a product and then worry about leaky magazines. So I've been looking online, and just about every YouTuber on YouTube that has and runs an Airsoft channel strongly recommends the Elite Force 1911. I already have it out of the box. I think doing unboxing videos are stupid and pointless, but every YouTuber swears by this gun, and a big shout out to Jonathan Higgs from Airsoftology. He strongly recommended this pistol. He owns one, and he has had his for over a year, and it's still running strong. So he runs a huge YouTube channel for Airsoft, so I know I can rely on his information. He's done a video on this pistol, and so have other YouTubers out there, so I think I made a pretty good choice. Now this gun, compared to the MKV, this gun feels solid. It has some weight to it. It's pretty much all metal. This gun uses CO2. Now, I honestly haven't ever owned a CO2 Airsoft gas blowback pistol, and I'm pretty excited to run this because I've had like the KWA USP in the past, and one of my big issues with some green gas blowback pistols is when you get close to the end of your magazine, there's not enough gas power in the gun to make the slide lock on the last fired shot. That's a problem. Also, I've had times where you might not get through the entire magazine with some green gas guns, and then you're not halfway through the mag and you're out of gas, or it randomly leaks on you, and just there's problems with green gas. So I know I can rely more on CO2. I've had CO2 pistols in the past. They weren't blowback, but I was able to get like 200 to 250 shots out. So this is a gas blowback, and from what I understand, you can get about pretty much 4 full magazines through it. So I know for the first 2 or 3 magazines, it's going to work really well, and it's something I can rely on, and that's just for one magazine with one CO2 cartridge. Now, talking about CO2, I'm also going to throw some tips at you guys because I've been doing some looking online on some forums and such. I ended up picking this Crossman CO2 at Walmart. CO2 is a lot easier to come by compared to green gas. Now, it's really easy to install. You just grab one of them out of the box, and then we can set that aside. So here it is. It's going to be inside of the magazine. So let me set this down. So here's the magazine of the gun. The magazine holds 14 BBs. So it's not a lot compared to some Airsoft gas blowback pistols out there. They hold like 25 BBs, but 14's not bad. The MKV held 10 BBs, so it's an improvement. And also, one thing I really like about the Elite Force 1911 is that there are extended magazines. They look pretty cool, and I'll probably pick one up if I'm impressed by this gun. I think I will be since it's CO2. So inside of the box, if you really want to check it out, there's going to be a little wrench here, all the paperwork manual. Be sure to read through that, and I'll be touching base on that very soon. So really in the box, all there is the gun itself, this here, the Allen wrench to take out your CO2, and then the manual. So pretty simple. Now, from what I've seen online and what Elite Force advertises is that this gun shoots 345 feet per second with .20 gram BBs. So it's good for CQB. I've seen a lot of CO2 guns that were over 350, and then you can't use them at indoor fields, but it'll be nice for outdoor fields. Later in the video, I'm going to do a chrono test and a test fire with this pistol. Now, also, people might be wondering, why did I pick the 1911 A1 version and not the tactical version? It's honestly because I didn't like the dual tone, and they don't really offer a tactical version in all black. I kind of just prefer all my firearms and airsoft guns to be just all black. I don't know, it just matches well with everything. And if you're in a dark area, your gun doesn't, it's not like a lighter color, so it's easier to see. I don't know. Just how I work with the airsoft guns. Now, there's the limited edition version, but it's kind of all worn out, the color, and I really didn't like that. It kind of looks used. But one of the biggest features for this gun that really attracted me to it is the orange tip is threaded. That's a huge plus. It's metal too. Again, this gun feels solid, and I really like that it has a threaded barrel. So I'm definitely going to be using my K-Tech amplifier on it. This gun's probably going to be pretty loud just with the CO2, but adding on the amplifier, it's going to be much louder. It also looks pretty cool on the threaded barrel here. I also do have a full-scale suppressor. I won't be using this on the gun. I mean, it looks pretty cool, but this is kind of heavy, and I did mount it on there, and you can kind of feel it weighing down on the barrel. So I'm not going to use it because I'm sort of afraid that it'll wear out the gun and possibly damage it. It might not, but just to be safe, if I choose to suppress it, I do have this smaller AGM suppressor right here that'll also fit on the gun. So if you guys want to check that out, I'll mount it on here in a second, both of them. And then in the shooting test, I have it stock and then with the amp, so you can see how much of a difference it makes. Now, for safety, for the maintenance of the fire or the airsoft gun, there's a few things you want to do. That's why I have this P4 silicone spray. You're going to want something like this, one to clean the gun and lubricate it and slide and such to keep it running. You know, after every so many games, I'll do disassembly and clean it out. There's also a hop-up unit in the gun, and I want to mention that there aren't really trademarks on the pistol. It's just the Elite Force 1911 with the Elite Force symbol. Caliber 6mm. With most 1911s, you will see it say 45 ACP on the top. It doesn't. Made in Taiwan, a serial number, and then a little warning. So that's that. So with the silicone spray, there's a few spots you want to just sprinkle or spray a little bit on. It's the valve here. I've seen people also recommend that you spray the top here, so once the CO2 enters the magazine, it's kind of lubricated with the silicone spray. From what I've heard, the Umarex CO2 cartridges have some silicone already inside of it. I don't know if that's true, but it's supposed to be better for the gun. So the Crossman and Daisy brand CO2 don't have any silicone in there, so just spray a little right there, and maybe a little here on the top and on this valve here. So that's just going to make sure that it's lubricated with silicone oil. Yeah, it's going to prolong the life of the pistol. Alright, now to check out how this looks. I think, again, this looks pretty cool. There it goes. On the threads. And the K-Tech amplifier isn't heavy at all. So, that's how it looks. I think it looks pretty cool that way. It stands out. And I'm probably going to do a few matches, and I'll have a gameplay video up later this week of this setup. Just going to use the 14 rounds with the amplifier on. It's going to be loud. I'm going to turn corners, and I can't wait. It's going to be pretty exciting to see some people jump. Again, with the 14 rounds in the magazine, something else I want to mention about CO2, when you shoot CO2 fast, CO2 gets cold, so you're going to drop in FPS, probably lose accuracy. I'm probably just going to double tap against other players, just to keep it simple. People don't like getting hit a lot, and also I don't want to wear out or run out of CO2 faster than I need to. Now, if you want to check out what it looks like with the miniature suppressor, I'll mount that on next. And so far, after putting the adapters on, suppressors, amplifiers, I haven't really seen any wear on the orange paint there. It probably will at some point. Just, that's kind of to be expected. So yeah, that's about, it's getting pretty tight there. So that looks pretty cool too, but I'm probably going to prefer the suppressor. It just looks flashy, but I'll probably also do a suppressed gameplay video just to have that out there. It'll be pretty cool and fun to watch. Now the main thing and the only thing I really dislike about the 1911 A1 in general is the iron sights. It's just plain black. It's nothing spectacular, really plain and simple. So what I'm going to do with same thing I do with all pistols is I'm just going to highlight the front sight tip. Just how I have it on my Real Steel Makarov and a few other pistols. It's just really easy to pick up either on white, red, or maybe a green. And it's like having, if it's red, it's like having like a miniature red dot, sort of. It's just easy to pick up on the eye. So that's how I'm going to have it set up. That's pretty much all I can pretty much say about the Elite Force 1911. I'm going to do a full review. I really don't have to cover the features of a 1911. Everyone pretty much knows how a 1911 functions. Magazine release, slide release, safety once the gun's charged with a BB, and your trigger won't fire if this isn't depressed. Pretty straightforward. Disassembly's easy. Take the mag out, you pop this off, and then you can adjust the hop up. I'm going to fine tune the hop up off camera to have it ready for the gameplay later this weekend. Alright guys, that's enough out of me. Let's head out to the grid code, and we're going to do some test firing, and then we're going to mount the amplifier on and see how loud it sounds. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, definitely give the video a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more Airsoft video content from me, subscribe to the channel. I have a lot of Airsoft videos on the channel already. I have a playlist of gameplay videos and a playlist for Airsoft gun reviews, so definitely check that out if you're interested.